Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass the Move. For today's episode, we do have the 3-game thriller, which is against Arsenal, Liverpool and Tottenham. Huge games. Of course, we have the bad news to share with you that we lost the game against Huddersfield 2-0. Terrible game, of course. Shouldn't be losing that at all. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if we lose against Arsenal today, or even draw for that matter, Manchester City would win the title and win it by some distance. We've got 2 games in hand, but it doesn't really help much. I think that would leave us still 8 points behind. What was that? 75 plus 6, 81. Yeah, so 7 points behind, even if that's if we win our games in hand. And as you can tell from the remaining games, we've got 5 left. Pretty much every single one of them are tough. Away to Fulham, they're trying to avoid the relegation zone, and that's by the time we reach them, we're already relegated. And then West Ham, of course, have their own goals of trying to get into Europa League spots. So, like I mentioned before about why Huddersfield would be difficult, because they're in the relegation zone and trying to get out. It's proved correct, but we should be winning that game either way, so no real excuses. But anyways, just being outplayed completely by an incredible Manchester City side, and that's why we're going to have to do some serious investment next season. I mentioned some of the possible areas, but I think I just want to get ahead into today's game and not waste any more time, because it's going to be 3 games in this episode, so let's try and get it done with. Unless, of course, we lose to Arsenal and City, just win the title, and that'll be the end of that, and we'll be back around for the next season. So yeah, this is the team that we're going to be going with. We can get ahead into it, and then we can start setting the highlights on and whatnot. But yeah, definitely going to be a tough game against Arsenal, like it always is. We are at home though, so you'd expect us to be favourites. But based on current or recent form, not having a good recent form at all, so it wouldn't be too much of a surprise to see Arsenal grab something here. But I'm hoping my players can still respond. So let's just get the highlights on. We're only going to be showing key highlights because too many games to get through. And then let's see what the team talk should be. We're going to adjust the tactics slightly according to our players. So apparently we're the favourites. I'm going to be a bit demanding and ask for a straight up win, even though I should try to encourage my players a bit more because they have been in bad form in recent games. So I'm just hoping that they respond to that sternness. So we're going to ask Herrera to play as a ball-winning midfielder instead, and hopefully he won't get sent off. I feel like whenever I play Herrera as a ball-winning midfielder, he gets sent off for some weird reason, one or the other. I mean, obviously it's because he's asked to tackle harder, but if I tell him to be a box-to-box midfielder and then give him the instruction to tackle harder, he's okay, for no real reason. It's kind of weird. Anyways, Pereira in there, Martial, Rashford, Lingard, and not our strongest 11, but we needed something drastic to switch things up based on recent form and match performances and whatnot. All right, so we get things kicked off, and hopefully we end things well as well. But yeah, just so if in case any of you've missed it before, the areas that we're going to be looking to improve are kind of all around the pitch. It's mainly our spine, I suppose. We do need a good defensive midfielder, a nice central defender as well, since Lindelof hasn't developed in the same way or same rate that Eric Bailly has. We need a shadow striker that's better than Lingard. Lingard's a natural shadow striker, but unfortunately he's just not quite good enough. And in this system, shadow strikers are practically our most important players. They're going to be our main goal scorers, so it's very crucial that we bring in someone who can grab us a ton of goals. Martial all the way. Ooh, decent shot. Off target, but at least within the frame of the goal, if that makes any sense. It's just over. But yeah, so we got CDM, centre back. Centre mid is pretty much sorted with Paul Pogba. I was also considering changing Paul Pogba into a defensive midfielder. He can do the deep line playmaker role. Might not really make use of his physicals or some of his flair maybe, but it's tough to find a good deep line playmaker either way, I think. So I was just something I was thinking about, so then I can switch the central midfielder role to a ball-winning midfielder, because we do want someone that's in there doing the dirty work without having to ask them to do, I suppose. It's just naturally in their role. The switch was on for Herrera, but he just couldn't find the right pass, and now Arsenal try and counter. They got Aubameyang there, so the danger's on. Jones has absolutely left his man, and Aubameyang's going all the way. Thankfully it's outside the post, because it looked like if it was inside the post, De Gea wasn't going to save it. It's a near post, but he still looked like he wasn't going to save it. And then our strikers sorted are, we're going to need a right winger, an inside forward, or a advanced playmaker. Either one. Ooh, it will be with a good shot there. Cleared eventually by Smalling, but just to Bellerin. So yeah, just a number of areas really. The positions that we got sorted in terms of our starting 11. Left back, right back, one centre back spot in Eric Bailly. That's a really good header from Aubameyang. But again, he's got players surrounding him. He shouldn't be getting that kind of header away. But he does. And just have to make do, I suppose. I have to try and respond. So we're going to have to ask our players to do. We're going to get a nice view of this in 3D just to rub it in a bit further. But look, they shouldn't be getting out of this position at all. And then once Aubameyang's there, there's about 3 players who are absolutely free, and none of them have really picked him up. They're just kind of floating next to him, and he gets the header away. So yeah, right back, left back, one of the centre back spots. Rashford, such a very similar header, but you know, he wasn't even as surrounded as Aubameyang, to be fair. It was just Bellerin on Rashford. Rashford rose higher, and he manages to win it, and game on. So it's a good way to respond. Andreas Pereira providing the assist. Rashford did a really good run and a jump. Looked a bit weird there for a second in 3D. Also, centre mids is obviously sorted with Paul Pogba or potentially DM. Depends on which player I find, to be honest. And then we've got the likes of left wing and striker sorted out. We've got Alexis Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku's not the most complete forward, so once we've got all the other positions sorted out, maybe I'll be tempted to, if there's any money left over, replace him with another complete forward. But you know, you just kind of have to make do at the moment because there's more urgent areas in the field instead. As you can see, Lingard's supposed to be our main shadow striker, and yet he's putting in a 6.4 out of a possible 10 in a game that we desperately need, not only need to win, but it's, you know, it's against Arsenal. You want to try and beat your rivals. Alright, so not good enough considering that we're favourites and we should be winning. I don't think we've seen too much from our players other than that sort of half chance from Pereira and Rashford. That came from a set piece. In terms of open play, we haven't done too much, so just a light telling off, and let's hope that's enough to get the players going. But yeah, Arsenal have been playing well. I don't think they necessarily created too many chances either. It's been kind of a quiet half from both sides. Plenty of shots, but nothing of note. Alright then, Pereira, advanced playmaker. I like having a... Oof, he almost found Rashford really well there. I like having the mix of having an inside forward on one flank and an advanced playmaker on the other flank. But Aubameyang free again, Jones leaving him, so why not? And of course it's going to be 2-1. There's no way he was going to miss from there. Chris Smalling trying to cover, but that's just terrible, terrible defending. It's just so easy to get in behind. I've asked all my players to play on a offside trap, but you wouldn't know it from this through ball. Look at how easy this is from Ozil. Beautiful touch to get away from, I think that's Fred, but yeah. Just so easy. Even De Gea's asked to come out as a sweeper keeper, and he barely came out there. And he even kind of just throws a leg at it, no real hope, lazily. And Arsenal get the lead again. And another highlight that could potentially end in their favour. Pereira just about got past him to Monreal. Kovalenko finds Iwobi. And you'd have to say Arsenal aren't playing with a necessarily full strength side either. So no real excuses if we lose here, or even draw for that matter. Anyways, Martial trying to go by himself. Not a half bad shot, to be honest. It eventually hits the post instead, but Arsenal trying to hit us on the counter, which they've done. Fred covering well. And let's see what we can do here from the set piece. Another goal, maybe? Another set piece, another goal. Sure, can't win it. Torreira on the counter. And it's 2v1, but the players are rushing back. Torreira. Nacho, really good cover. Back to De Gea? Yeah. Okay, bit of a... Well, I guess Arsenal drop off and they allow Martial in. Question is, can he finish? He can't, but it does go in through a deflection. Apparently he's still on target, so it counts as anti-Martial's goal. So I guess he did find the target technically, but a huge deflection just helped him then. The assist goes to David De Gea of all people. Look at that. I mean, I thought he lobbed it into no man's land, but Arsenal's defense dropped off so much for him that it helped, and obviously that huge deflection took away from, I'm going to assume that's Leno there because that's probably not Czech. Yep, Leno. And it's 2-2 again, so let's try and see whether we can change it up a little bit more. I'm going to go do that usual tactical change we make, which is put on 2 strikers essentially. Because we do need a win desperately. Alright now, so who needs to be taken off? Sanchez, we can take Martial off, but he's had a good game, he's not necessarily tired. We can bring on Pogba for Herrera, hasn't had the best of games. Switch to the roaming playmaker. Pogba, You need to do the dirty work. There you go, that's already set. Fred could maybe do with a bit of a rest, but yeah, it's going to be Sanchez as Matic. Maybe I could switch. I think I'll leave it as is for now. And let's hope the formation changes enough to do it. But they are trying to hit us on the counter-attack. We need to try and play through our wings because they are playing that sort of four-man block. Okay, so Marcio picked up a bit of a knock. I'm going to take him off for Sanchez now. No point holding on to him anymore. And we'll even take off Lingard. Bring on Fellaini. He's not necessarily a striker, but his heading can do some damage. Before we make those changes, though, there's going to be a highlight here. Pogba, he heads it just back down to Bellerin, so essentially did the throw-ins work. Ozil, the danger man. El Nini, is he going to take a long-range shot? To be honest with you, I was actually hoping he would take a long-range shot because I really thought I was just going to blast away somewhere ridiculous, but he actually managed to get it on target, and it's a bit of a goal. It's actually kind of close to David here, to be honest. It's not in the 90, at least in 2D, but a goal is a goal, and it's 3-2 now. Look at this. Yeah, that's kind of close to David here. He really should be doing better. I don't know what's up with the goalkeeping in this game, and as in FM19, because it feels weird. It's just not the same as previous versions, I suppose. And Arsenal might actually come away with a win, let alone a draw. So I think it's going to be City who win the league, and we're just going to have to recover and hit back at them next season. I don't think we necessarily have enough money to actually buy in all those positions that I mentioned. It's going to be tough, but I don't think necessarily impossible either. Alright, Smalling just lobbing it forward to Fellaini. He picks it up quite well actually in the end. If he can find a striker partnership, that'd be good. And he does. Rashford, he couldn't finish that. Alright, and that's pretty much what a goalkeeper's meant to do when the shot's so close to them, because De Gea couldn't do that on the other side, and the highlight's continuing, so it could still go in Arsenal's favour. It will be. Nacho can't win it ahead of him, and then Nini, the danger man, plays it through to Aubameyang very easily. He's not offside. This time De Gea does save it. He does come out as well, by the way, a lot more. That's why he can make that save. But again, that defensive line's terrible. Smalling, even Jones, to be honest, have had an absolute meh. Alright then. Sanchez tries to switch sides. Nacho. Alright. Ozil, Fred's there to take it up. Sure. Alexis Sanchez. Oh, Fellaini would have been through if he could have found that, but it just forced Salerno. And Arsenal are going to grab all 3 points. Once the goalkeeper gets rid of it. I want to see whether City, I'm pretty sure mathematically they've won the league, as far as I know. But we'll have a look. Alright, I just want to have a quick look at the stats. So they only had 1 click at chance, which was Aubameyang one at the very last second. But they did have 2 half chances. They managed to score 3 goals. We didn't have any chances at all. We managed to score 2. I think I'm still kind of learning. I feel like there's something different about this system, because about this FM, sorry, because this tactic worked completely fine for me in FM18. So I think I'm gonna have to try and learn the new system, and because I think it's a lot more detailed. I think training's a lot more detailed too. But so yeah, I'm tempted to use the already set tactics because I haven't actually tested any of them out, and maybe I can learn more about the game in that sense. So maybe in my next save, not necessarily this Manchester United one, I'm actually even tempted to just let this go and start a new save, because this is meant to just be a beta save. But yeah, I'm pretty sure mathematically we're away. So look at that, it's 4 games left, 12 points. City have won the league. Yeah, there you go. City won the league. Alright, so that should be the end of this episode. And yeah, I'm tempted to use one of these already preset tactics while I get adjusted to this new system. But yeah, this tactic right here, I've used a tiny variant, which is deep line playmaker, the ball winning midfielder, but pretty much everything else stayed the same. Very, very basic in the sense that we're playing control, which is now positive, shorter passing, offside trap, and that was just enough to get by. I feel like there's so many details in this new game now that you can't necessarily get away with this type of stuff. Could be that, could just be the type of players I have, to be honest, because we've done really well. We are in second position after all. We had some good games, And it just seems like in the second half of the season where we really fell apart, because the first half we were absolutely amazing. I mean, look at that. Just a bunch of greens, a couple of reds scattered, and yeah, it just fell apart, I suppose, really in April. Look at that. Just had a single win. I mean, I can't even begin to explain that. So it could just be an ability thing, to be honest with you. But I'll have to have a think about whether I want to continue this save, because I feel like whenever I do a career mode with Manchester United, they're already my team, so it kind of feels boring putting it on as, you know, on YouTube and that kind of stuff. It makes more sense to try and attempt something more incredible, I suppose, or different kind of teams, different kind of countries and all that sort of business. But anyways, that's definitely it for the season, at least. So yeah, if you did enjoy today's episode, of course, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, then don't forget to turn on rather than turn off your notifications. And yeah, once again, thank you guys very much for watching.